again, everybody, and welcome back to Fujit's Blitz, and we're still on the Aces of the Week gallery. This is part 2, and okay, yes, there's still the replays I received in April, but boy, and look, April was just a really bad month for me. Didn't do much, so I'm still playing catch-up. Anyway, first off the blocks, this is a good friend of mine, Transfer at Pauline of the clan 49 Div, my new clan, yay! Rolling out in a very tricky tank. The Shinobi, the Japanese Tier 5 premium tank, which is a medium, on the EU server here on Black Goldville. Now, I remember when this tank first came out and I got it, and it's actually a really tricky tank to get to grips with. The reason being is because, okay, firstly, it's not got the best gun, it's not got the best damage, and it's not got the best armor, and in fairness, it's not got the best armor engine. But once you understand its foibles, it's actually quite a nice tank. Now, it's called a Shinobi because of this quirky camouflage that it had. And this was the first Japanese tank that we could all get our paws on. It's nice, as I said. I mean, it's tricky. It's not the easiest tank to drive, but it is a nice tank once you get used to it. And as you can see, with the way Transfer at Pauline plays it, you've got to nurture it. It's only dishing out 140 odd damage, the reload isn't exactly the quickest for its tier, and you know, the armor is pretty paper thin. The thing about it is, though, once you understand this tank and you understand that you've got to take care and attention, you've got to nurture it, you've got to be careful with it, it's actually quite pleasurable to drive. And it's not a bad credit earner. Now, the way that Transfer at Pauline's playing it here is just spectacular. I mean, he's already taken 2 kills, he's dished out over 500 damage, he's blocked nothing. It's not easy to block anything in this thing. But he's put it in a commanding position up here in the caves on Black Goldville, and he's got 3 rain on basically the enemy tanks. And that's a great roll. I mean, 230, I mean, that's a super duper roll. Okay, somebody stole his kill there, which is ironic on the grounds that he's renowned as a kill stealer himself. Now, as I said, this was realistically the first Japanese tank in Blitz that you could get your paws on. And I can't remember how it came out now. It was an event tank or you had to buy it. I just cannot remember. But it's been around in the game for quite a long time. And to be fair, you don't see many of them out there. But that's not to say it's easy to get an ace on this thing. It's absolutely not. It's a very tricky tank because in its tier, I mean, it's going to be facing tier 6s, and okay, tier 4s it doesn't have too much problem with, but it will face tier 6s, and it doesn't really hold its own against those tanks. The way Transfer at Pauline is playing it here is, like I said, what I think is ideal. You've got to be careful with it. You've got to give it a bit of TLC. You can't overextend on it. It's difficult tank to front line. It's more of a secondary support role tank. The gun is pretty accurate. You're not dishing out shed loads of damage, but you're at tier 5, so you're not going to be. It does struggle on occasion to pen, although it hasn't struggled so far with Transfer at Pauline. I mean, he's hitting the other tanks in the right places, and he's getting some good high rolls. Okay, it's a slow tank, but tier 5 nowadays is a slower game. But that's not the point. I mean, the point is to have fun in these things. And I know you can have fun in the Shinobi. A lot of people don't. A lot of people get frustrated with this tank. I mean, that's kill number 3. He's done over 1,000 damage now. He's rocking and rolling, and he's actually bounced 90, which is nice. Now that's kill number 4. It's over 2,000 damage. I mean, he's realistically setting the world on fire with this thing, because, as I keep saying, it's a tricky tank to get to grips with. And you know, I've not seen many great games in this tank, but it's a nice tank. You know, a lot of people whinge about it. A lot of people go, "Oh, it's nothing great, it's nothing special," but it's a bit quirky. It's a bit fun, and you know, it is what you make it. And the good thing about these type of tanks is that they teach you different types of skills, and that's the main thing. I mean, don't forget, guys, all the tanks in the game have different roles, different attributes, and you have to play them differently. And the good thing about this tank, and now it's one-on-one as you can see here, but the good thing about this tank is it forces you to be more conservative. Because as you can see, everybody's going to pen you realistically. Okay, he's bounced 125 or whatever it is. But in real terms, a lot of people are going to pen you. You know, you're just not that great. And, you know, he's worried here about being rammed. He's not getting massive rolls. It doesn't dish out that much. It's got a decent-ish engine. You can maneuver it over a KV-1. That's a fantastic game. Kill number 5. Good one-on-one against a KV-1. A well-deserved mastery. Shedload damage, but look at those credits. I mean, over 200,000 credits. I mean, this is a great credit earner. Anyway, I'd really like to thank Transfer at Pauline49Div for sharing that replay with us. It was fantastic to watch. Next up, another good friend of mine, Jonty2014 of the clan EMRS, going at another Japanese tank and another premium tank, the Kuru Mori Mine. This is the basically the Tiger 1, Japanese Tiger 1 at tier 6. This is a nice heavy. I mean, I do like this tank for various reasons. Firstly, aesthetically, this looks like one of those Tiger 1s that was with the Africa Corps. I mean, it just looks beautiful. It's a beautiful looking tank. And it's basically a Tiger 1, guys. I mean, this is basically a Tiger 1. And you play it like a Tiger 1 and you play it like a true heavy. And I love the Tiger 1. Which meant I always wanted this tank out of this fantasy, this Girls and Panzer fantasy tank series, which they're not really fantasy tanks, let's be honest. I mean, the Japanese were going to buy these Tiger 1s. One was sent over to Japan, I believe, or was it sent over? Or it doesn't really matter. And then you've got the Hetzer, and then you've got the Panzer IV. So, you know, I mean, whilst a lot of people say they're fantasy tanks, they're not really. I mean, they're based on real tanks. This isn't the HAL thing or the Dracula. I mean, this is a real tank in real terms. And I do like this tank. It's a lovely tank to play. It's got a fantastic gun because it's basically a German gun. It dishes out really good damage. And it's basically a Tiger 1, guys. And this is what you've got to remember. And you play it very similar. It's a great credit earner, again. And I do like this tank. In the way, I mean, Jonty2014 is an aggressive player at the best of times. And as you've seen so far, I mean, he's already dished out 1,100 damage. He's bounced just shy of 300. And he's played it aggressively because he's an aggressive player. And he knows how to angle it, and he knows how to get up close and personal. And his play style doesn't suit everybody, I agree. Not everybody can pull aggressive play style like this off. Jonty can, and a lot of his games, he's up close, personal, front lining everything, and ultra aggressive. And there you go, he's got kill number 2, just shy of 1,500 damage. I mean, look at the reload on this thing. Okay, he's dropped his adrenaline, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's a nice reload on this tank. It's got a great gun. It is accurate because it's basically a German gun. I say it is accurate. He missed that completely. Went into the light, completely into the ether. But, you know, I like this game, and I like this gameplay, and I like this tank. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, I don't play this tank this aggressively like Jonty is. But, you know, it pays off for Jonty because he understands his style of play. And I'm not going out there saying, guys, you should all play the tank like this. I mean, Jonty's a good player, and as you can see there, I mean, he's bounced over 1,000 now because he understands the attributes of the tanks. Not everybody can pull this off, I fully admit. But it's a pleasure and a dream to watch somebody play a tank this aggressively. And I mean, I love it. It's fantastic. I love all Jonty's replays. Kill number 3. Over 2,500 damage, bounce 1,100, kept to base, up close and personal all the time. I mean, look at the damage he's dealt there. That's a fantastic replay, and I'd really like to thank my friend Jonty2014 of EMRS for kindly sharing his replay. Next up, we've got another good friend of mine, Mark Collins of the Clan Grave, rolling out in the VK100-01P, the German Tier 8 Heavy on the EU server, which recently had a nerf, as we all know. So this is him rolling out post-nerf. So it's not the same tank that everybody managed to sort of bully their way through the tiers prior to the last nerfing update. And this is a lovely tank. I mean, if you haven't got this tank, guys, yet, then you need to get it. I mean, it's a beautiful tank. You basically got a mouse at tier 8. Okay, it's slow. Okay, it's got an excessively long reload. And if you've got the top gun in it, it's really long. But the damage is spectacular, and it's got really trolly armor. It still has really trolly armor. Okay, the cupola, you can pen it to high heaven. The side skirts, if it's side on, you can pen those. Other than in the rear, you can pen that. If you know, however, how to angle this thing, and you know how to play this thing, you're formidable. I mean, you will just dominate and destroy the battlefield, even after its nerf. It's not the same tank it was, but it is. And I know that's contradictory. It is still a beast of a tier 8 heavy. And I really like this tank. I love the mouse series anyway. And when Wargaming brought this out and fiddled around with the tech tree on the German line, this, the Mauschen, I just think they're fantastic tanks. I mean, having a super heavy at tier 8 is just unbelievable, to be honest with you. I mean, this thing is a monster. But you've got to understand it. I mean, you may see all these replays and think, because of its trolley armor, I can just stick it in there and blah, blah, blah. You can't, because of that reload. It's got a great gun, don't get me wrong, but the reload is long. And it you know, a lot of people have said, oh, this was OP. And yeah, okay, when it first came out, it was OP. And, you know, whilst it's been nerfed, it's still realistically an OP tank. I mean, it's a fantastic tank. And I can't say this enough. If you haven't got this tank in your garage, you need to get it, guys, because it is just a beautiful, beautiful tank. I mean, look at this. He hasn't even scratched his paintwork here. He's dished out over 2,000 damage. He's bounced 500. He's taken a kill. And I mean, this is what is such a dream with this tank. Okay, you got Pen there. He's now lost a bit of his hit points. But don't forget, you're at tier 8, and he's got a lot of hit points to lose. It's 3 against 3 now. He hasn't capped any bases yet. Now he's going to roll up here, try and cap the B base. But he's obviously, he's got tanks around him. He's got a very formidable E29 coming up to try and take him out. But look at that. He bounces him, and then he sticks a massive roll into his front plate. I mean, he's gone. He didn't kill him, but he's gone. Oh, he did kill him. No, he didn't kill him. But he's gone. I mean, it's just absolutely a beautiful tank, guys. And as I keep saying, if you don't have it, get it. Stop being so, I don't know, frugal with your credits and your XP. Get this tank in tier 8. It's a beautiful, beautiful tank. And Mark Collins has played it fantastically in this game. 3,100 damage. He's bounced 1,100. He's now taking kill number 3. It's basically 1 against 2. This poor Glacial is a formidable target when he wants to be, but he's in a world of pain here, let's be fair. He's now, you know, it's gone. That's it. Kill number 4, 3,400 damage, bounce 100, took a base. Wow, I love that game, and that is a wow deserved mastery. And look at the credits. I mean, the credits is fantastic. 176,000 at a tier 8 tech tree tank. Brilliant, guys. I really want to thank Mark Collins of Grave, along with Jonty24 team of EMRS and Transfer Pauline of 49 for kindly sharing their replays. I've been Fujit. That's been the guys. They all deserve their masteries. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I certainly did. I mean, that's just some fantastic gameplay. If you haven't subbed to my channel yet, guys, then please do. It's a nice thing to do. By all means, comment and like. If you've got any decent replays, send them to me at fujitsblitz@gmail.com. Or, alternatively, get onto my Discord and post your replays there. The Discord link is in the write-up for this video. And until the next time, guys, stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. Because, you know, that's what it's all about. Having fun and being happy.